Turn this
All
up.
right, hello, Premier. We're starting up again, another podcast. People keep DMing me about these. I don't know when we're going to start doing them.
Wait, hold on, because
Hold on. Here you go.
I seen the view count, and it's more than 32. So it's not just Premier listening.
That's right. You're right. We have fans from all over. Madden fans from other people, maybe friends and family. That's interesting.
Maybe.
Gabe showed his dad him getting roasted. Yo, Dad, listen to what my friends are saying about me. Yo, Gabe's a bitch. He's going to quit. Well, anyway, man.
That's Matt, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. He just can't let Gabe just oh, God. We all knew it was happening, though. We all knew it was happening. That's fine. So today, joined by Matt. Introduce yourself to the people.
What's up, everybody? It's Matt, Chargers user, chat clown.
Chat clown. Pop again is back with us.
Yeah, I still got the trash Lions. Same thing. Tell me they ain't trash, Mason. We played. Yeah.
The Lions are getting worked.
You're tripping. You got Marvin Jones, man.
Oh, man, I love him.
And that's Prod trying to defend his decision to hop the Lions.
Your fearless leader.
But I will say, just real quick, Marvin Jones is probably one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL.
In real life.
Yeah, and real life.
I'm gonna tell you because we were playing. I'm gonna tell you what happened in Madden. He tried to throw a jump ball to Marvin Jones, and that dude just had no chance. He had no chance catching the ball. It was hilarious.
The Patriots got a good secondary, though. Is that who you were using?
Mm-hmm.
I was using
We
the
gonna
team that y'all gave me.
that on the first impression episode.
Oh, okay.
We'll get more into that later. But Levon fucked up. I'll tell you right now. But regardless of that, so we're gonna do something today where Matt's going to give us questions, and we're gonna decide whether they're true or false, whether they're actually gonna happen, kind of statements, and we'll just bounce them off there. So that means I don't have to do any work, which is awesome. So Matt, take it away. Your first one.
All right, so basically we're going to do a fact or fiction, and since somebody just said Levon's an idiot for giving you the Patriots, I just want to put a disclaimer in there. We don't really know until the season starts because with the way EA is and the way they listen now, this game could be completely different by the time the league even starts. So, Levon, shout out Levon. But with that being said, sorry, Levon, you're kind of a focal point of the league, and without you, we can't really have many discussions because you kind of glue together a lot of things. So we will get started. First question in the fact or fiction is going to be, Levon will make the playoffs within the first 3 seasons of Premier.
Let me go first because the rest of y'all gonna hate. First, can y'all tell me, besides Mason, who else is in the division?
Man, he's got Alpha in there, and he's got
Nito.
Nido.
Dude, doesn't matter. It's me and Alpha. That's me.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, but Nido matters when it comes to Levon.
You know what? I'm gonna say no.
Don't be a hater.
Only Alpha seems to fade off, but I'll give him a strong 3 seasons. So I say no. Fiction.
Pride, you can go.
I'm going to say no, but I'm not really using this as an indictment against Levon. It's just that having Alpha in there, if Alpha wasn't in the division, I would have said yeah, but I think Alpha being in there kind of complicates things for him. And then he has the other dude in there. I guess they play each other a lot, so they'll probably be back and forth. That'll give him some L's, so it's going to be hard for him to get in 3 years. Plus, he's got to build a team up, so there's that too. He does have the Jets.
Yeah, I'd say no. He's not beating me, but I will say that over the course of time, I think he'll get better. He'll get better just playing me and Alpha, but the problem is he's going to have to get a wild card spot over one of us. And it not only us, but then I don't know what the rest of the conference is going to be like. I don't know who's going to rise or fall. So he's going to have to go at least 3-3, 4-2 in the division to get in 1 year. I don't really see any way that's happening. Plus, he's got to pass early to make Darnold anything, because if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year with Darnold, it's going to be tough to do because Rain has Lamar. There's no way he's going to build up Darnold. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a wrap right there. No chance.
Right.
He's also got
could make a Pro Bowl. he could kind of make a Pro Bowl and maybe get some XP in other ways. But again, I think it's too early to judge like player development because we have to have a conversation about XP. We have to have a conversation also like how the players develop because some years it's easier to develop with standard XP than others. So, but I'm still going to have to go ahead and say no, just simply for the fact because I think the first 3 seasons, in my opinion, are like the 3 seasons where everyone's locked in. It's football season. Everyone's playing their games. They're active. They're watching like the NFL, EA Championship League things. So I think in order for Lavon to get in, I think he'll probably have to get a wild card spot. And I think the wild cards in the AFC will probably be like 11-5, maybe 12-4. But if he can pull that off, all power to him. But I'm going to have to go with fiction.
So that's 4 fictions.
Anything
4 fictions. So prove us wrong, Lavon. I know you're going to listen and you're going to be mad. But
really quick question. Well, first off, comment. He ain't getting to a Pro Bowl.
Plus, even if Darnold, Mason, you're the one that said a QB doesn't make a user anyway. Even if Darnold got to 99 overall, that still wouldn't guarantee he would have a better shot at getting in the playoffs.
I will say I think quarterback play matters a little bit, but I'm going to get to the Pro Bowl every year that I have Brady. And I don't know if he's even
here we go.
I don't know if he's going to be a top 3 rookie in the AFC, to be completely honest with you, because you have Rain with Lamar and then you have Alpha with Josh Allen. So I don't know how he's even going to, down the road, get to
that. Is true.
Because those guys are going to be – those are 2 loaded quarterbacks, and Alpha's going to chuck that thing up with Allen, and Rain's just going to utilize Lamar to death. And so I don't know.
I don't know. My experience with Alpha is that he normally uses a mobile quarterback. I don't know what Allen's speed is.
I think it's somewhere in the low 80s.
It's
Oh,
81.
if it's in the 80s, then all right. But if Alpha's forced to stay in the pocket, I mean, it is a new Madden. Some people change, but if he's supposed to stay in the pocket, I don't know with Allen.
I agree with you, but what he doesn't do is throw a lot of picks, and LeVon's going to give you like 20 to 30. You can't win Pro Bowls with 20 to 30 picks.
Actually, I beg to differ. I won MVP one year in the Madden with Manziel, and I had like 40 touchdowns.
Ain't nobody talking about 2015. All right, Matt, next question.
I mean, it was in Premier.
All right. So this one gets a little bit juicier because it has to do with somebody directly in this little dojo podcast situation. Mason will be better than Juan. So who wants to go first?
Prod, you can go first.
Okay.
Just keep mixing the order.
I'm going to say fact. This isn't Juan hate, but if they really change the game to more of a passing game and, Juan's the runner and all that, I'm not going to get into his play style. But just that alone seems to, I'm thinking that Mason will probably get a few more rings than Juan. I'm going to do a bold prediction. I'm going to say Juan gets no rings this Madden.
Ooh.
At least not in Premier.
I'll take that. Juan's in trouble from what I saw. This game is so different in that timing matters a lot. I'm gonna be better than him because I love how I talk about myself. Everyone complains, and then Matt.
I like to make things interesting, Mocha boy.
Oh my gosh. It's just funny how I get blamed for talking about myself. Then Matt asks a question directing me.
Mason, you can't answer this question.
All right.
Yeah. We'll skip Mason for this question.
I'm gonna say I don't know because they're not in the same conference. It's gonna be hard to judge who's better.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: everybody's playing the game, and they say it's a passing Madden. It's a passing Madden. What we aren't paying attention to is there are scheme fits. He doesn't have to make his scheme for passing. He can continue to build his team around running. And if everybody don't build the defense to stop running, he's still going to be who he is. Would I make him better than Mason? I don't know if it's going to make him better. It's going to be too hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we jump into the conclusion that it's a passing Madden. I don't know if we can say that just yet because with the scheme fit and if he build the O-line and he got the running backs, for him it's still going to be a running Madden. He knows how to run the ball. He was running in Madden 17. He just didn't get, and he was making the playoffs. He just didn't get to the Super Bowl.
Yes,
So
true.
it's not like it's just Madden 18 was the perfect game for him.
Mhm.
It was lagging. It was everything that made it perfect for him.
It's very
But
true.
I'm not gonna just say that he's in trouble. But
Mhm.
so I don't know. I guess I'm gonna say fiction. I'm gonna go with fiction.
All right.
Matt, you didn't.
I'm gonna go. I'm also gonna say. I'm gonna say fiction because I think this is gonna. I'm sorry, Mason, but this is kind of gonna go against your grain a little bit here. I think that Juan is actually gonna be better because he has the time factor. I think Mason is gonna realize that he doesn't have as much time as he did as the season progresses and as he continues to work. Now, I'm kind of just going off of what I know based on what Mason's doing and things of that nature, but he seems to be working a lot now. So I think Mason's going to fall off just a little bit. He's still obviously going to be good, but I think Quan, he still has that college time where you could go back to your room and play, 2 or 3 hours and then go to one class and then play 2 to 3 hours. So I think Quan actually won't really fall off too much. I think he'll probably stay as a top user. As time goes on and people get like into a rhythm and everyone develops their styles, I think he might struggle a bit more if this actually is a passing Madden. But I think Quan will probably be a little bit better just due to time.
Am I allowed to comment on the?
No.
All right, that's cool.
We don't want to hear your bias.
I mean, you can. Hey, you can say whatever you want, but
bias
I wouldn't.
I'm not
I think Pop's being your PR guy.
I'm not going to answer the question. I will say Pop brought up a very good point I didn't think about before. I think the first 2-3 years it's going to be really passing oriented. But just like last year, how it was a running Madden and I caught people off guard by passing, they weren't ready for play. Once he starts running, people aren't going to have the D lineman to be really prepared for that. So if he gets it dominant, he could kind of just run people out of the building. Because it's not like you can't run the ball. I mean, you can, but I said no one has a good enough offensive line. Like I haven't used the Cowboys yet or the Steelers, so I don't really know. That's all I'm gonna say.
I honestly wouldn't even say the Steelers have that great of an offensive line, but
you could definitely
he does have the Bears.
You could definitely still run the ball. It just won't be a juke move, take it to the house type of run the ball.
Right.
Right. It's gonna be. I would agree with that. That's a good point. It's gonna be more like a wear you down.
But he loves to do that, so it's we'll see. All right, next question.
See, I think people. All right, yeah, we don't want to stay too long on these, so we'll go for the next one. All right, this one's a little juicy, and it's gonna be hard for me to answer, so I'll go last. But I'm gonna have Sky will beat Ramp in the playoffs at some point in this Madden season, and I skipped one, but we'll go back to that.
I'll go first. I'm gonna say fiction because you're assuming that they'll play in the playoffs. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know why that's some guarantee all of a sudden. They didn't play did they play in the playoffs last year?
Maybe late.
No, but they did in 17. They didn't play last year.
Yeah, see, who says they're going to be both good enough to be in the playoffs? They got some problems. I mean, Appos and Ramps. I think Ramps better than Appo, but Appo's better at building teams. He's got a better team to start, in my opinion. The Cowboys are loaded.
Better team than the Giants?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I think Eli is going. Well, we'll see. Actually, the game kind of works for Ramps. We'll see. It's iffy, but I'm just saying it's going to be competitive in there. Gutta and Sky's division, that's going to be competitive. Neither one of them has a cakewalk division. So we got to assume that they both win. Assume that one of them probably wins a playoff game. Then they got to meet. That's a lot of assumptions. I don't even know if they play in the playoffs, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go.
All right. So just how about you answer this? If they do play, who wins?
Sky would win.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Mason said the guy. We got. That is true. I mean, does he though? Because the Giants definitely have some pieces to be built. So I think. I mean, I guess I'll go. Sorry to cut you guys off, but I mean, I don't know because I think the Giants also have some pieces, and the Saints also have some pieces. Though the Saints pieces were more articulated throughout the NFL last season, I think the Giants were favored from the development side. So I think, like, if, for example, Snacks being like I think he was like a 96 overall. I think the Giants have like these little sneaky players that you wouldn't think of or hear about in the media immediately because they didn't have a great year last year. But the developers pay attention and they see like, okay, this guy's pretty good, and they give him a higher rating than you would think. So, I mean, I think their teams are going to be semi-similar. I think what this matchup will come down to is Ramp committed? Because I think if Ramp is taking it serious and really –
Hello?
I think he kind of went out there. Pop, just go ahead.
Damn, he got Thanos.
He got Oh, I should use a phone. All right, Pop, just go ahead.
Prod snapped his fingers. I think this might me being biased because I play Sky a lot. I think I'm gonna have to go with Sky if they do happen to play. I just think that Lattimore can match up with Odell. And the Saints got a really good defense. I don't know what their ratings are, but their defense is pretty good and very fast. So I kind of agree with Matt because I remember last Madden, I be in the chat. When I'm in the chat, I'm in the chat, and then when I'm not, I'm not. But I remember seeing something where, like, Rent wasn't developing his players properly or something like that.
Correct.
So it was kind of like he was behind the ball. And when everybody else had their players develop, he wasn't paying attention. I don't know if y'all can hear the rain, the lightning, and the thunder and all of that, but it's pouring. Matt probably got struck by lightning.
I'm back.
Oh, there you go. Is it raining up there by you?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's pouring.
Lightning, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Sky only because I think he might be more focused than Ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Just going off of last year, and I think they teams match up well. I think the Saints defense can match up really well with the Giants offense.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll really come down to who's just the better user because their team should be matched pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Rod?
That's a coin flip to me. He couldn't even make a pick because, I mean, they're about on the same level when Ramp is focused. I mean, the last couple Maddens, it's been Sky, but I don't think he's, like, way better than Ramp from playing both of them. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it would go either way. I can't even make a pick on that one. So that's a wash to me.
Can I say something real quick? I looked at the Saints receivers. Sky's gonna have about 390 to 95 overall dudes in like 2 seasons. Michael Thomas is on that.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas is on that team. Cameron Meredith is on that team, who was a monster from last year. He's still young. Alvin Kamara. They're going to be loaded. And Alvin Kamara is the perfect player for this game because he can go either direction and kind of he can be a receiver or a running back.
Right.
That offense is going to be a problem. But Giants are good too. I just think it's going to be better. All right, Matt, next question.
All right, so we got next question. I'm going back up to the one that was right above that. We will go 8 quality seasons. So this one is kind of tough, but it's just from a commissioner standpoint. Obviously, we want to, but obviously, I don't think we've been 8 seasons since maybe Madden 16, I want to say. And I wasn't even really around as much in 16. So let's let Prod start this one off.
My hope is that it will, especially with all the stuff that I'm trying to get going. So I'm going to say fact on that one.
All right.
Thank you, Prod, for all your
Prod's trying to get to his dinner. He like, hurry up.
All right, Pop, go ahead.
8 is a lot to ask for. When you say strong, like, what do you mean by that?
Like not having around people to play their games and.
So if we got 32 users, right? By the 8th season, what's a strong 8th season? Having the full 32?
Wait, what? Say that last part again.
when you say a strong 8 seasons, are you saying by season 7 and 8 we're gonna have 32 active?
Yeah, or at least like close to that.
What's close?
Because I mean, even like sometimes even in year 2, some people start acting funny, and you got to get rid of them or whatever.
What's close? Just give me a range between something and 32.
20.
I don't know. I mean, it's Matt's question, so that would have to.
Give me a number, mate.
24.
24 by season 8. No, I'm gonna have to say fiction on that.
I think it's going to depend on XP because the game's fun enough. Like
It's definitely fun. Yeah, it is.
last year, it felt like the games were taking 2 hours when they were an hour. This time, I mean, me and Pop played a little bit, and it was like over, and I was like, wow, that was pretty fun. We were
No
both
lag, no
Yeah.
nothing. Like
I was on Wi-Fi, no lag, perfect. Everything was running smoothly. There was no really funny animations that were just like, what the hell was that? There was not that much of it. I mean, it's still bad. So, but like, there's not any like what I would call complete bullshit. Again, we didn't turn injuries on, so we'll see about that. That could kind of draw some people away. But I think it's got a shot. It's just after the Super Bowl ends, that's when it gets kind of tough. That's
I think it's the opposite. I think when you get to like week 8 or 9 and people start to realize they're not making the playoffs, that's when they don't care. I think the offseason, everybody cares.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I meant the Super Bowl in real life. I meant when football.
Oh, okay.
No, I knew what you meant, Mason, but I have to say, like, I think Pop also has a point because I think the first season everyone cares. Everyone's like, oh, this is the new Madden. Let's go. I'm building my team. Season 2, you kind of get to see some teams built and then some players who have potential and maybe just have to solidify their team. And then season 3, if you don't have a decent team and you're not a decent player and you're not competing every game, then you're probably like, you know what, it's slow for me. And then you get the people who fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, year 1 was an aberration last year because people were getting tired of the game early because it had issues.
It was terrible. That's why.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think after around season 5, it becomes more about like pride and reputation. Because at that point, everyone is what they are, and it's really like certain people trying to get that first reign that they can't get, or other people trying to become, I guess the best of that Madden.
And I also think it has something to do with like the culture of the game because last year, I mean, in every chat, every league that I was in, at some point, someone was bashing the game.
Yeah.
So I think if the game is solid and people aren't afraid, and with this game, I think there might be more of a gap between people who are good runners and people who are good passers. So there might be different play styles. So I think if there's different play styles and people aren't afraid to, I guess, show their game and people aren't afraid to stream, then I think that'll help a lot too. Because I think last year kind of we pittered out with like people wouldn't want to stream because a lot of people were on the same things, and then it would be like a huge matchup and we would miss it because they didn't want to stream it. So I think if people are more transparent and people develop their own styles, I think it'll definitely last longer as well.
Stop saying people. It's just Juan. Tell Juan to stream. It's very simple.
It wasn't just him.
Juan was being a bitch about streaming, but to be fair, the game was lagging also.
Right. That's why I said like the complaints about the game as well. Because I mean, I at least tried to stream every game, but sometimes I just couldn't move my players. My buttons were all messed up. The play call lag was too crazy. So it comes down to if the game doesn't lag too much, I think streaming shouldn't be like a luxury. I think it should become more of like an expectation if you have the ability to, if you have a good internet connection. So I don't know. But on 8 seasons, I'll probably have to go with fiction, though hopeful fact.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, the good thing is you can no longer use lagging as an excuse because the game runs flawlessly. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
People will find something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right, Matt, next question.
All right, so we got next question. Let's make this one kind of quick. All right, let me pick out a good one. So we have Cdes will be better than Estes. So obviously, Prod, you don't have to answer this one unless you want to.
No, I'm going to.
All right, we'll let you lead off then.
He's never been better than me in any league.
Uh-oh.
Going back to Madden 12, so I'm gonna have to say fiction on that one.
I'm also going to have to say fiction just because he has too many damn kids.
And there's that.
Yeah, like I feel like if he had more time and he was in more leagues and things of that nature, I think he has the ability to be above average. But I just think having that many kids is tough for anyone to be above average, especially with people who are putting in 5-6 hours a day every day.
Yeah, and the one league does hurt.
Man,
And he hates cheesing, so he's got like nothing.
I appreciate him. I used to not like him, and I used to not like Pride because we was in the same division, and they gave him the sim win over me or some bullshit. It was like during the time when they was working and could only play a game for 2 hours a week or some shit like that. And they gave him the win. But like I said, when I'm in the chat and I'm reading and I see some of the stuff he write, I appreciate some of the stuff he writes because he's right. You know, some people do cheesy shit and he don't want to conform to what everybody else do. But Prague will milk the clock and run and everything to win. So I'm gonna have to say Prague is the better one. But I'm rooting for the brother though.
Let's be 100% clear on this question. Prod better be better than Cdes. He's in this fucking dojo, so you better not let him be better, honestly. That's what this is all about. At the very least, you can't let your own sibling be better. So I'm gonna have to go with Prod on pure teaching ability of everyone else in this chat, in this recording, really. So. Also, you're right. Cdes doesn't conform to what's going on in the game or what's happening. Although I think he'll like this a lot because it's pretty realistic. You can't really use her, but whatever. We're into that.
Yeah. I remember him saying something about like agility and all of that. He's gonna like that. Some of that shit is gonna matter. You can't follow a tight end to one sideline, turn around and come back and catch the wide receiver up the seam. You ain't gonna be able to do that no more.
Oh, I'm gonna like that too then.
All right, Matt, take it away. What's next question?
All right. So our next question for the Fact or Fiction series we have is John will win the AFC South in Season 1.
I guess I'll go first. First off, who's even in his division?
So I know Reagan's the Texans.
So continue.
So we have Reagan, Stan, and then John, and I'm forgetting that fourth person. Titans, Texans, Colts. The Jaguars is the new user. I don't know who he is, but he's the Jaguars.
I forgot that dude's name already.
I forgot his name, but he's in the chat. He's active, so I think he might be, and I think he has a pretty decent reputation.
I just want to say that the fire trucks is out because the lightning is crazy and the lightning probably struck something. So that's why I hear fire alarms in the background. But I'm sorry, continue.
No, that's more interesting than this question. Yes, by
Just more interesting.
Well, John will win that terrible division. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Who else wants to? That division's terrible, man. Honestly, it's the second worst division. Now that Gabe's not in the NFC West, I don't know who the replacement is, but it's a toss-up. They're both pretty bad, honestly.
Oh, who is the replacement for Gabe? I know it's off the top.
I don't know that dude. It's one of Miles' friends. Reagan said. That's all I know.
Yeah, same.
Oh, the Miles brothers, right?
No, this is a different. The Miles that was the Browns last year, he kind of keeps to himself.
I don't know.
Kinda.
Yeah. Not Miles and Dom.
Oh, I missed them. All right. But yes, John wins by default.
All right.
Um,
Okay, so we'll skip these next two, and we'll start with. All right, so this one is kind of, I mean, I guess controversial. It's kind of gossipy, but not really. Nard will come back to premiere by season 3.
all right, I got an inside track. I already got the inside track.
Uh-oh.
So me and Nard speak every so often because we try to beat Mason up. We always try to talk about that. So I asked him first. I asked him about Premier, and then I asked him about Elite. He said he's only doing 3 leagues, and he already has 3 strong leagues. So I'm gonna go with Fiction.
All right.
And he's
I'll
still
go with
pretty
Fiction.
well, Mason.
I'm gonna go with Fiction also, just because I think the way the league ended rubbed him the wrong way, and I think he was just over the chat and over people talking trash. So I'm gonna go with Fiction also.
Also, Fiction for me too, because I think he kind of has a lot going on with leagues. I'm not sure how many leagues he's in.
He's in 3.
He's just in 3? Oh, okay. But yeah, I think he really liked those leagues a lot. Plus, he's running grid, so maybe not season 3. But I think he'll be back maybe later on. But he really didn't like the way the league ended, so I agree.
I wish he would come back, but you guys giving me all this information. I would have said yes before we got, reporter insight here.
Mm-hmm.
So now I gotta say no, I guess.
Chris Broussard. Comme Pop Broussard.
And he probably not only he's probably not too happy about how Premiere ended, but he's probably not happy about how Premiere affected Grid or some of the users. Could include myself in that. It was and a lot of that has to do with, again, the game.
I ain't no snitch, but I'm gonna say
Yeah, I know. I mean, it would be me, Ramp. Well, I just got disappointed because everyone I was playing against left, and I was like, well, no one else. This isn't.
What's the name too? Juan.
Yeah, me, Juan, Ramp, all kind of left pretty quick.
If you think about it, look where they all came from. So he couldn't really get too mad about that. I mean, they came from Premier, so if they leave.
He was mad because it was, I don't remember which one of y'all it was, but when one of y'all said, I'm done, everybody else said, I'm done. That's what he was mad about.
It was rightfully so. I mean, when Juan said he was done, I was like, well, this wouldn't mean anything to me. So, and I think a lot, again, part of that was just because the game wasn't fun enough for me to just play without the competition of trying to be better than really just Juan, honestly. And without that, there was no motivation for me to play. Let me be completely honest with you. It just wasn't that fun. The fun part was trying to win. Then I won. Then I was like, am I better than Juan? After that, it was not, I give you guys credit for playing the game so long, man. That game was it was rough. But again, like we were talking about off air, it ruined a lot of leagues just because of how terrible it was. I think this year you're going to see a way different thing. I could see myself in way more leagues this year, but last year I could only be in 2 at one time. I didn't even want to be in 2. It was just exhausting to play, honestly.
Yeah, I was in a few, but they kept dying. So
they kept dying. People kept not enjoying it. It was just a mess.
Yeah, and the thing about last match.
Oh, you got struck by lightning again.
Prod, you want to stop doing that, Tim, please? That'd be great.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Yeah, my fingers slipped.
Stop fingers, man.
All right. So our next question, I'm actually going to flip to the other page just because I think there's some better questions on that. So fact or fiction, Apo and Ramp. I keep going back to Ramp, but obviously I think about him because I know him personally, so it's easy.
Think about him.
Yeah,
think about him right.
Choose your next words carefully, Matt.
I think about him.
Nah. That's big. Anyway, so let's see. Apo and Ramp will be the best rivalry. So not so much in terms of skill, but just in terms of overall entertainment. I'll go first. Obviously, because I wrote this, I think it's definitely fact because they're both very vocal. and each of them, if they have time and they're committed, they will send 400 messages of trash talk back and forth before and after the game.
I think it depends on if Alpo's good or not. Or better yet, let me change that. It depends on if Alpo think he's good or not. Because Ramp is going to talk regardless, which I appreciate.
Right.
Alpo, as you see, disappears when – no, not even that. Whenever he thinks the league is dying, he feels like he needs to do something to spark it. But when it's running fully, everything is good. He doesn't talk trash like that. He only does it when he think the league or the chat, better yet, not the league, the chat needs a spark. So I don't know. I think who else is in that division?
I'm in there, and I forgot the other user.
Sarita.
Oh yeah.
I guess.
Project.
Prod, you're about to get in trouble, man.
Shit.
How you gonna forget?
I'm gonna say fiction. I'm gonna say fiction until season 4+.
Okay.
Good.
That brings me to a next point, since we kind of we'll let Mason and
I say fact, but because they're going to be talking shit from the jump, I think, because I think they already kind of were. Like April's already been saying little shit, and Ramp just really hasn't been in the chat to see it, and really April hasn't really been in the chat either. But I mean, I think it will be. They'll probably be talking shit from the jump. Me and Ramp usually talk shit in DM, but they'll be in the chat.
Is it female?
Yeah, the Eagles.
Interesting.
When you say best, do you mean most competitive, or you just mean shit talking wise?
Like
a little bit of both. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I think mostly just shit talking and entertainment value.
Okay, because I was thinking, I think Sky and Gutta is going to be the best on the field of like who's going to accomplish the most. But if you're talking about just shit talking, I gotta agree, Ramp, because it's going to take. Apo does only talk when it's quiet, but he talk. There's another time he talks to. Not only he talks when he feels like he's being disrespected. Whenever we used to call him just a guy. He used to bring that up all the time.
That was because to Pop's point, that was because at that point I think he thought that he was better than just a guy. And in the beginning of Madden, when he was still learning the game and things like that, I think he was more just kind of watching and just like in the chat.
Yeah, he was.
But I do think that.
It wasn't me this time.
I need to leave his phone on the charger. We need to get off of Sprint. Sprint isn't good, man. Stop using Sprint.
Shit, y'all should be good in the city.
Nah, Sprint is terrible everywhere. He's not in the city though. He's upstate. And the rain is really bad. Like I don't know if that's affecting him, but it was.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
I got Verizon. I don't know what's going on with my phone though. It's being weird.
I think the best on the field, off the field rivalry is LeVon and Mason. That's what I think.
God.
Yeah, I want to avoid the truth, but that's what it is.
Oh man, he's trolling.
No, it's not a troll.
Pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Yo, but I will say in LeVon's defense, LeVon has probably the thickest skin in any league I've ever been in.
I think LeVon is worse than what he is.
No, LeVon, I never sleep when I play LeVon, probably for two reasons. One, because I know he'll bring it up for the next 12 years. But also because he's not that bad. He
can beat anybody on any given day.
He just does things like when the pressure's on that you just like laugh at. Like for example, he'll be up by 7 and instead of taking a knee, he'll throw a pick 6 and then it goes to overtime and he loses because of it. And it's like he just does. If he can clean up those little things, I feel like he could be a decent user. But for some reason, he just can't clean those little things up. I don't know if he just doesn't care or if he just likes having fun or what.
Or if you go into that game thinking it's a cakewalk, like if you go into it thinking that, he can
Right.
beat you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Well, I won't lie. When I play him, I go into the game thinking it's a cakewalk. I don't know about that.
Yeah, because you play ball possession. That's why.
Not true. I mean, this last Madden is the only one I did that. The other ones, usually I'm a little bit more balanced than that.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
Let me just stop this right. If there's
God, here we go.
I'm going to be so.
Here goes Meeson.
I'm,
Go ahead, Tucho.
Good about himself.
Go ahead.
y'all just talked about me for 5 minutes, and now when I say something, it's a problem.
Go ahead, Tucho on horn. Go ahead.
I can't figure out how to upgrade players on this shit, though. What the fuck?
Here's the thing. I'm not going to take him lightly because I'm going to shit talk so much before it that I'm going to have to back it up. It's going to be just like the Packers guy from last year. It's going to be complete focus because I'm going to know if I do anything less than destroy him, he's going to bring up. If he gets within 10 of me, he's going to be like, oh, Mason's not that good. He only beat me by fucking 9. No.
Let me tell you why that's bullshit.
Okay.
Because this is the same. Now, I give you the benefit of the doubt that last year Madden was bad. I give you that. But you're the same person that sit there and complain, oh, let's just fast forward to the playoffs. Oh, regular season is boring. This, that, and the third. So, yes, I can see you not taking him serious in season 3 and him beating you.
See, I have a similar situation, but I have more of a fear just from a pride perspective because I have to play Lewis twice. So, I mean, I think a lot of people cluster.
Why is Lewis in the league? Why? He's going to talk about his kid doing this and somebody on Wi-Fi.
I played Lewis a game last year, and he pauses the game. He goes, "Yo, give me a minute." I'm like, "All right, word." Like, I'll wait. Whatever. I'm just sitting waiting. I got another message, and it's like, "Yo, this might be a little longer than I expected. They're taking my son." And I was like, "No." Well, I didn't know what he meant. He said they're taking my son, and I mean, I was like, "What?" And then next thing I know, we're playing again. So I don't know if he like made a grammatical error or something. But then after the game, he doesn't say GG. I'm like, whatever. Like, he's mad. He lost. Whatever. Like, keep it moving. And then the next morning, I get a good game message with like a long paragraph. And then he was like something about, I know this is kind of like blowing up his spot on the podcast or whatever. And he sends me this long message about how he fell in love. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not as active as I was. Mm-hmm. He's like, I found a girl, I'm not as focused. And I was like, all right, man. Like,
Lewis to Regan is the equivalent of Kim to Ryan. It's terrible. They gotta let go. I would
disagree because Lewis plays like he
plays until he gets so-called frustrated, and then he just blitzes until you throw a deep pass and score more.
Well, see,
some of them DMs he sent me were gold when he was losing to me. So,
yeah, I mean, I think he actually tries because he did the similar thing to me. I think he just likes man blitzing because he man blitzed to me, and then I threw it I was like, oh, word, easy touchdown. Like, I think he called like 3 man blitzes in a row. So I ran a bench when I put my best wide receiver. I was like clout dude. I put the fastest, best route runner I had on the outside, and it was an easy touchdown. He was like, yo, why are you spamming that wide receiver? And I was like, why are you man blitzing every play? Like, it's an easy touchdown. So he was definitely getting frustrated. So I don't think he is in that Cam tax bracket because I think he actually does care, and then he just gets distracted and then the wheels fall off. But I do agree that he kind of has to prove himself as a staple again. I think this is probably his last legs unless he gives us a few good seasons of consistent activity.
Comparably, he played pretty long last Madden. I mean,
No. Being allowed to stay and playing is 2 different things.
I didn't pay attention to the AFC. I'm sorry. So you're right. I really was not even.
He played
pretty. He did pretty well because he built that team up. I mean, for being the Jets.
Yeah, because he drafted every lineman in the fucking draft in the first round.
With the top 5 picks, he took the best offensive line and then just wrote it out from there. But I think that also gets you some credit in terms of longevity throughout the league's lifespans, because if you build a solid team and it's not that hard for us to replace, opposed to like a Gabe type where you trade your best players for 40-year-old
Yeah,
guys because you think
yeah,
Super Bowl the first year,
I
it's
agree.
easiest for us to find someone down the line. So if like Lewis, okay, if he falls apart in year 3, but he leaves a solid team behind, it won't be as hard as if he quits because his dad smashes his PlayStation.
Out of here, and you guys keep interrupting my close, and I'm just waiting a little bit. I'm gonna.
All right, Delaware, go ahead.
All right. All right. Well, another podcast. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Stop bitching at me about the next one. It'll come out when it comes out, probably next week sometime. We're gonna give you guys our first impressions on what we think on how we think this Madden is. I think it's gonna be kind of positive. It's gonna be a good look podcast, so it'll be interesting. But hope you guys enjoyed and listen again.